There comes a moment when the chaos no longer shakes you, when the sharp words, the silent treatments, and the endless demands suddenly lose their weight. It doesn't happen overnight. It's more like a quiet turning inside, a moment when you realize you feel nothing, where once you felt too much. If you've ever loved or lived with a narcissistic woman, you know that moment comes with both fear and freedom. This video will take you into that experience, what truly happens when a narcissistic woman senses her grip on you slipping. It will unravel the masks she wears, the hidden needs behind her control, and the exhausting cycles that drain you until clarity becomes your only way forward. Before diving in, let this be said, you're not alone. The exhaustion, the guilt, the confusion that has followed you are not signs of weakness. They are the scars of surviving a dynamic that was never meant to nurture you. And if you're new here, welcome to Emotional Soulmate, a channel dedicated to exposing emotional abuse, narcissism, and the subtle traps that keep good people stuck. If you stay with this video until the end, you may find the very piece of clarity you've been waiting for. The hidden need behind the mask. Narcissistic women often appear unshakable. They stand tall, project confidence, and demand attention, as though it were their birthright. But beneath the surface lies something far less secure. Their dominance and superiority are not signs of strength, but shields covering a deep and unfillable emptiness. This need for constant validation shows up in ways you've likely seen. The hunger for admiration, the outrage when you disagree, the jealousy when your attention drifts, and the subtle ways they rewrite your reality to keep you small. You were never meant to be seen as yourself. You were cast into a role, the supporter, the mirror, the one who quietly confirms their greatness. Boundaries. They were never honored. Your no became irrelevant, your desires reshaped to fit a script where only one person mattered, and that person was never you. The slow burn of exhaustion. At first, the relationship may have felt electric. She admired you, lifted you up, made you feel chosen, but what began as light soon turned heavy. Praise became criticism. Affection became control. Conversations became circular traps where logic crumbled, and emotions were twisted against you. Day after day, you found yourself explaining, fixing, doubting. Every word you spoke felt like it might be turned against you. The energy you poured into making things work was met with more demands, more silence, more punishment. This is not just tiredness. It is the slow burn of dignity, the erosion of self-trust, and eventually, the soul cannot stay in survival mode forever. When you begin to feel indifferent, it isn't because you stopped caring. It's because you finally started seeing clearly. When control slips away, a narcissistic woman rarely lets go quietly. Your disinterest is not seen as a natural shift. It is felt as humiliation, as an attack on her identity. To her, it isn't about losing love. It's about losing control. That's when the masks change. Concern suddenly appears, but it's only disguise. Guilt is packaged as love. Blame dressed as truth. You may see grand gestures, apologies dripping with tears, promises of change. But notice the pattern. They appear only when her grip weakens. Once control is restored, the cycle returns. And in darker cases, the performance turns into attack, smears against your name, accusations that you're selfish, ungrateful, abandoning. Each tactic is not about love, but survival, her survival, at the expense of yours. The guilt that keeps you hooked. One of the hardest truths to accept is that fairness is not part of the goodbye. You may be painted as the betrayer, the cold one, the heartless partner or friend. The story she tells is not about reality, but about protecting her ego. That's why guilt becomes the trap. It makes you question what you know. It whispers that maybe leaving was wrong, even when staying felt unbearable. Many return at this stage, not out of love, but out of shame, carefully crafted by manipulation. But guilt, in this case, is not proof of wrongdoing. It is proof that you are doing something new, something right. It is the growing pain of breaking free. Why leaving feels wrong, even when it's right. Detaching from her may feel like tearing away from your own skin. You've been conditioned to believe that sacrifice equals love, that silence equals peace, that shrinking yourself equals strength. You grieve not only the relationship, but the fantasy of what it could have been. The moments of charm, the flashes of tenderness, they replay like echoes, keeping you tied to hope. But the truth is simple. Love that requires you to erase yourself was never love at all. Walking away doesn't mean you gave up on her. It means you finally refused to give up on yourself. The quiet strength of disinterest. There is a particular power in no longer caring about the games, not the kind of power that roars with anger, but the kind that stands quietly, unshaken. Disinterest doesn't mean apathy, it means peace. The manipulation no longer works, the chaos no longer confuses, the control no longer seduces. This is the moment where you stop explaining, stop defending, stop absorbing blame. You stand firm, not out of defiance, but out of respect for your own humanity. You owe no one your suffering. You do not prove your worth by how much pain you can endure. Choosing disinterest is not weakness. It is wisdom. A glimpse of healthy love. Healthy relationships do not demand erasure. In them, disagreements are normal and imperfections are embraced. Trust is not earned through silence or obedience, but through honesty and care. In spaces of true love, boundaries are respected. You are free to change, to grow, to say no without fear of retaliation. Conflict becomes a path to understanding, not a weapon to control. These relationships help you expand into more of yourself, not less. They give you space to breathe. Stepping into healing. Leaving a narcissistic woman is not the end. It is the beginning. Healing will not come overnight, but it begins the moment you honor what you feel. The echoes of her voice may linger. The guilt may tug. The blame may replay. But with each step, those voices grow fainter. And with each step, your own voice grows louder. Surround yourself with reminders of your worth. Seek spaces where your healing is celebrated, whether in therapy, in trusted friendships, or in moments of solitude. Your story is not defined by the damage endured, but by the dignity reclaimed. Your peace is the final word. It takes courage to stay in the storm of a narcissistic relationship, but it takes even greater courage to walk away from it. Choosing clarity over confusion, peace over chaos, and self-respect over survival is not abandonment. It is liberation. She may never understand why you left. She may never admit the harm done. But her understanding is not the requirement. The only requirement is your choice to protect your peace and honor your worth. You are not defined by the control you escaped, but by the strength it took to break free. Your dignity remains yours to keep. Your peace remains yours to claim. And that, more than anything, is the final word. If this message resonates, share your thoughts in the comments. Others walking the same path may find comfort in your story. And as always, Because YouTube's algorithm tends to favor videos with strong engagement, if you feel this video has brought you value, a simple like and a quick subscribe would mean so much. It not only helps this message reach more people who need it, but also ensures you will never miss the next video that could make a difference in your journey. Thanks all.